What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Getting everything set up. All right, getting everything set up right now. About to be on the camera in a second, y'all. You're tuning into Floridian Rollo. I'm your host, Floridian Rollo, and I'm coming at y'all with another live stream. What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? The continuation of the speech of Charlie Kirk. Without further ado, we're going to hear what JD Vance have to say. Make sure you double tap the like button on your way in. Be respectful in the chat. My mods in YouTube is definitely checking out what people are saying in the chat. So be cognizant and mindful. YouTube is not playing games. They have uptick, rightfully so, what you can say, what you cannot say. So not only my mods you have to deal with, you have to deal with their moderation. You cannot say what you want to say. Be respectful to the host. Be respectful to the mods. Be respectful to people in the chat. We have a couple of people in the building. Roy and Brenda. How you doing, Brenda? So without further ado, let's get to this content. Let's hear what JD Vance have to say. We're going to play two prompts of what JD Vance have to say. It's going to be back to back, so I don't have to make any stopping, and I'm going to let it continue. And then we're going to get to the Millionaire New York City Exodus, and then we're going to talk about the dating market in 2025. Talking to some men and women down here in Florida. I'm going to tell you what's going on down here in Orlando, Florida with the dating market. Dating market. All right, let's go.
So I want to say just one thing about my friend Charlie Kirk. I want to talk about Charlie Kirk for a little bit. And the last group I want to have be recognized here is we have got a lot of kids, and I hate to call you kids, but when you're 41 years old, you guys are kids.
Right.
TPUSA is a great organization founded by my friend Charlie Kirk that takes the message of free speech and conservative values all over our college campuses here in the state of Michigan and elsewhere. And we've got some proud TPUSA folks here. Would you guys stand up and be recognized by the crowd? We love you.
Let's go, JD Vance. That's what I'm talking about.
We love these kids, and we love the organization that was founded by Charlie Kirk. And I know I speak for all of the kids behind me, all of the great TPS USA members, and also the alums, that over the past 10 years, Turning Point USA has not just been an organization, it has been the fountain of a movement all across the United States of America. If you look at just the youth vote in 2024 and how much young voters shifted from Democrat to Republican from 2020 to 2024, Charlie Kirk created a movement. And that movement made Donald J. Trump the President of the United States, and it made me the Vice President of the United States. I would not be here without Charlie.
Did you hear that? He's paying his respects. He's saying that he would not be vice president if it wasn't for Charlie Kirk putting everybody together. As you can see, a lot of people that haven't talked in a while, that haven't seen each other in a while, got together because that's what he wanted to see happen. That's what he wanted to see happen. People have disagreements and agreements. Learn how to get along with each other. Put your differences to the side. Yet you have these entities and deities don't want that to happen because they love sin. They don't want to remove themselves from the sin. They don't want to repent of their sins. They don't want to grow up and develop a relationship with the Most High through Christ. They want to stay in the bottom of hell. Let's continue.
But Charlie was an exceptionally talented individual. People don't realize how integral he was, how important Charlie Kirk was. He helped us staff the administration with solid people like Secretary Chavez DeRemer. He made sure that when we hired somebody, that it was a smart person, but it was also a kind and decent person. You see him at these college events and he would talk to anybody. He didn't care if you were a Democrat, a Republican, a liberal, a conservative, if you supported the Trump administration or not. He felt that the most important American political virtue was to just get out there and talk to our fellow Americans. And I hate to say that a week ago, he was doing what he did best, he was doing what he loved, and an assassin gunned him down for daring to say things that that assassin thought were wrong or shouldn't be said. Well, I think I speak for every person in this room, and I think I speak for a majority of our fellow Americans when I say we do not attack or commit violence against people because we disagree with their ideas. We debate ideas, and we're going to keep on debating them in honor of the great Charlie Kirk for as long as I have a microphone.
For as long as he has a microphone, right? Now, let's get into some situation because you had the Trump administration being blamed for, what's his name? The quote-unquote comedian. Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel was released not because of the president or the FCC. You see the lies that they put? It was not because of the FCC or the Trump administration. It was because he lost a lot of sponsors, a lot of opportunities in social media, and ABC decided to pull the plug because they saw that they did it, and they did it on their own merits. They was not threatened by the FCC. So while he got his thing back, it's only temporarily because they're going to try to find a replacement eventually. I even think Jimmy Kimmel knows that. I even think he knows that. There's some type of buyout going on. I don't see him staying too long. I just want to give my 2 cents on that. I used to work for ABC. I know how ABC politics is. I was working for them as a young man in New York City by West End Avenue back in the day. You know, so I have a lot of connections for the most part in ABC. And so I talked to one of my long-term constituents who is high-ranking director there. Won't give out the name, give out the information. And basically, yeah, he told me that they took him back for the time being. So expect to see content creators that think he's staying forever, not staying forever. Let's continue, y'all.
But the last thing I want to say about Charlie, my friends, is he was more than a political organizer, more than a person who literally helped make me the Vice President of the United States. And I'll never forget it, Charlie, that I would not be here were it not for you. He was a good guy. He was a good friend. I mean, all of these people who have been involved in TPUSA, you know, Turning Point USA, it wasn't just a debate society. It wasn't just a political organization. It gave these kids a sense of home and a sense of purpose in often very hostile places. If you were a young conservative or you were a young Christian and you were worried that a professor might give you a bad grade for being who you were, Charlie's Turning Point USA gave you a home. If you were worried that you had...
And there's some truth to that. There's a lot of favoritism in these Ibarasi places. If you don't believe in their agenda, they will punish you for that. Yet if the conservatives move correctly, they're saying that you are a bully. That's how the devil is. The devil doesn't want to be called out for his sins or her sins in various places. Let's continue, y'all.
An idea that was maybe disfavored by your social group if you were worried that you believed something that was just a little too controversial for a college campus. Turning Point USA gave you a home, it gave you friends, it gave you moral support, and that is what I think must live on in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death. I have friends who met a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, who met the best man at their wedding at Turning Points USA because it was an organization of patriots dedicated to making this country the very best country that it could be.
And it's becoming much better. A lot of people don't want to see this country go back to morals, family, traditions. These people want to see war, bloodshed, kidnapping, murder, rape. The list goes on. A lot of people don't want to see you win. A lot of people want to see you homeless. A lot of people want to see you in the shelter. These people love sin. These Ibarasi, they don't take care of their own community. They don't help out one another. They don't put money together. They don't support, quote unquote, black on black businesses. Yet they're telling you on the internet that you're a coon, you're a sellout, you're a race trader. All this narcissistical behavior. NPCs, monitoring spirits. Right? They love to project their lives on you. And I'm here to tell you that Charlie Kirk has done more for so-called black people than these pastors, these PIMPs, these preachers, these racist hate groups, particularly black racist hate groups. Yet these black racist hate groups don't support one another. They unalive one another. They want to argue with you on the panel. I remember back in the days when I used to be over by a particular channel that they want to go back and forth with me all the time. They couldn't stand me over there. They couldn't stand my stance. They didn't like me. They didn't support me. They always wanted to pull me back and forth, arguing over nonsense, nothing getting done. And it's the reason why they're now over here now. They watching me. They are, oh, you as a nationalist, you as a sellout. You got this weirdo over here right now. This weirdo that served in the military. This weirdo calling me a weirdo. Hey, Forever Studio. You got a military person in the chat who is a Ibarasi, served this country. He's in my chat right now. He can't stand me. We used to go back and forth. Now, oh, I'm surprised. He knows I'm a conservative. He used to come in my videos. He used to big me up like how all these demons do. Always want to big you up. They want to big you up. They want to always. Yeah, that's my man. Yes, my man. Yo, Rollo, man, I miss you over by certain platform back in the days. Yeah, man, that's my homie, man. Why you did Rollo like that? Now look what he calling me. He calling me a white nationalist. I already gave up my black card. You black folks, man, you don't want no healing. You don't want no healing. You don't want no healing. You love sin. Just admit it. Come on now. You love sin. You love violence. You love going to war. Then why are you over here? I had no issue with you, but you see when I use the word but? I had no issue with you, but cancel all that. Cancel the word but. When they use the word but, that means everything they're saying is a lie. Let's continue, y'all.
I would like to think that whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, this basic idea of young people gathering to discuss and debate, that is the thing that we cannot let pass away just because.
And you know what's the crazy thing? They mad at Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was talking to you liberals. Charlie Kirk was not hateful towards liberals. That's the crazy part. Charlie Kirk was not hateful towards liberals, yet they calling him a racist. When he have helped a lot of so-called black people. more than your Martin Luther King ever did. You know what Martin Luther King did? Let me not say too much. Y'all know what it is. He was all selfish. Here we go. You're not on my level. I don't want to be on your level. I don't want what you have. You have nothing for me. Listen, Warlock. Listen here, Warlock military guy. Warlock military guy. Monitoring spirit, Warlock military guy. I don't want nothing you have. There's nothing you have I don't want. You in my chat. I'm not thinking about you. Whether you quote unquote stumbled upon it, you still here. Why you still here? You ain't getting attention over there no more. I don't be over those other platforms no more. You at my platform. You calling me slow, you calling me this, you calling me that. All those things don't matter. You still stuck up there in Jersey suffering, dude. You in my platform. You mad my channel growing? You mad I'm not racist like you are? Answer the question. You racist, right? Because I'm not racist. I don't have hate in my heart like you do. You have hate towards your own people. You want to see your own people unalive. You come from that background, don't you? You come from that background. I love to go back and back with the other black folks that can't be on my level. I don't want your level. I don't want what you have. I don't want none of your sins. I don't want none of your sins. You in my chat talking about he's extremely racist. Oh my gosh. Listen, let's continue.
Because the leader of Turning Points USA was gunned down by an assassin. And I want to let you know that whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, whatever your belief is, I will fight for your right to speak your mind. We reject political violence, and we reject the crazy left-wing radicals that gunned down our friend Charlie Kirk.
That's what it's about. They don't have no issues with you liberals. You have issues of removing sin out of your state, out of your city. You love sin. Y'all love violence. We can't stand political violence or political situations. Salute to my big bro Daryl in the building. Salute to you, fam. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to Fabulous Studio. Mrs. Brenda in the building. Successful people in the building. A deity, or matter of fact, entity. Why your own people kick you out? Why they be kicking you off the panels? I heard you still kick off the panels. You be rage. I want to go after him. I want. You won't ever come on my platform again. You don't know how to have a regular conversation. You be crashing out too much. You think I'm gonna allow you Ibarasi come in my chat to disrespect me? I'm not your people. You from the table of Edomite. You are the black devil the Bible speaks of, or your Quran speak of, or whatever belief system you in. You come from the black devil. Let's rewind back what J.D. Vance says. Let's go.
Whatever your belief is, I will fight for your right to speak your mind. We reject political violence, and we reject the crazy left-wing radicals that gunned down our friend Charlie Kirk. Let's talk to one another and not try to shoot each other down for disagreeing.
Let's go. Fuck that fuck,
You know, I can't help but think that they tried to silence my friend Charlie Kirk. They tried to silence our dear friend Charlie Kirk. And tonight, we speak with Charlie and for Charlie louder than ever.
That's right. Go ahead, say that.
The evil murderer who took Charlie from us expected us to have a funeral today, and instead, my friends, we have had a revival in celebration of Charlie Kirk and of his Lord Jesus Christ.
Let's go.
We gather here in this stadium in the hot Arizona sun, shielded in a great shining city our fathers raised out of the desert. And from this desert, Charlie Kirk built a movement. He transformed the face of conservatism in our own time, and in doing so, he changed the course of American history. To rising generations across this country, Charlie exemplified kindness, courage, and a commitment to open debate. And he was a great debater, and we loved him for it. But Charlie loved debate not because he excelled at it, but because it was the vehicle for bringing the light of truth to dark places.
That's right.
And Charlie Kirk brought many truths in his life.
That's right. He sure did. He sure did.
Charlie brought the truth that young people deserved a stake in the future and that they deserved to have a voice.
That's right.
He brought the truth that marriage and family were the highest callings, far more important than any job or educational credential.
That's right. That's right. That's the way it's supposed to be. Making sure your family is good than being selfish. Making sure your family is good than being selfish. Make sure the people around you is good than being selfish. Yet these savages, these monsters, they want to raise YN killers, ninjas of other Ibarasi-Dibarazis. New Jersey, mass exodus. Why the clown that came in my chat won't talk about the exodus of New Jersey, the exodus of New York? He's a businessman. Yet he blabbing his gum, being disrespectful to me. I wasn't disrespectful to him until he got disrespectful to me. Oh, I stumbled upon it. He's lying. He's subscribed to the channel. He's a liar. He subscribed to the channel a long time ago. He don't even know how to unsubscribe. These people be lying themselves. They be sent to bring distractions from whoever the pawn is. They say, yeah, go over there to Rollo's platform. It's getting hot. I need you to, go in on him. I'm just roasting the dude. I don't want to be in your level. I don't want the things you have. I have my own stuff going on. Figure out how to deal with your struggles. Figure out how to get some serious help. And stop raging. Stop being hateful. You say you love your people. You don't even love your own people. You don't love America. You love the things you get from America, yet a lot of you don't love America. You could call me all these names all y'all want. It won't stop the truth. Let's go.
The truth that our nation would fade unless it brought order to its neighborhoods and prosperity to its people. He brought the truth that life was precious and we must fight to protect it at all stages and at all times. But most of all, Charlie brought the truth that Jesus Christ was the King of Kings and that all truth flowed from this first and most important one.
That's right.
Massive crowds gathering for an emotional scene in Arizona all day Sunday to honor and pay their final respects to Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk.
All right. Let's get right to it. So basically, J.D. Vance said what he needed to say. Salute to J.D. Vance for speaking a monumental of respect to Charlie Kirk, who got him to get to be VP with Donald Trump. He helped bring a lot of people together, Mr. Kennedy, and the list goes on. Brilliant minds in the administration. Brilliant minds. And those people are working tremendously hard to make America great again. Put a hashtag in the chat. Make America great again. It's going to piss off these evil, sorrowful men and women who don't like America. They should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. All right, let's get to the situation in New York. Let's get to New York situation. I'm almost there. You have a Democratic woman. A Democratic woman is going to tell you what's going on in New York. If they take this socialist mayor of New York City, what to expect. If they take this socialist mayor from New York City. 1 second, y'all. Let me get it set up and ready. Here we go. All right, listen to this.
Many on the left are rejoicing in Democrat socialist Zoran Mamdani's success in New York City mayoral primary. Some Democrats are speaking out against his proposals. Among them is New York Congresswoman Laura Gillen, who says Mamdani is too extreme to lead the city, and she joins us now. So great to see you, Congresswoman. Thank you.
Even this Democratic lady, a Congresswoman, Laura Gillen, saying that this is not good for the state and the city of New York.
Thank you for joining us. So this really is, first of all, were you shocked by the outcome of this?
I was pretty surprised, yes.
Why?
Well, I just didn't think that New York would elect someone who's a self-proclaimed socialist to lead the city that is the global epicenter of capitalism. So I was.
It's not the global epicenter of capitalism, ma'am. It is not the epic global capitalism of America anymore. That is Florida, ma'am. That is not New York City. The tri-state northeast corridor, which consists of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York City. It is no longer the capital of America, ma'am. It is Miami, parts of Orlando, and Tampa and Jacksonville has a say when it comes to leading the cities across America. Let's continue.
Very surprised, and I spoke out because first of all, my job is to advocate for my constituents. I'm gravely concerned that if he became mayor and implemented some of these policies, we're going to see an exodus from New York. It's going to crater our economy. It's going to drive up taxes that will be passed on to my constituents, and it will destroy our state's economy as well.
That's already happening, ma'am. Ma'am, that's already happening. People are just getting by in that city of New York. People are barely getting by. Even if people is making decent money, good money, they barely getting by because now y'all raised the tax to 9.78. Were you going to raise it up to 10? Almost near New Jersey? How you expect people to keep up if you keep raising the taxes? Y'all don't want to correct the money that y'all put out there and disperse it into your pockets. Y'all didn't even take care of the people y'all say y'all want to take care of. And where's this demon at? Why he quiet now? Why the demon left? Why the demon left? Oh yeah, because you know why that demon that was in the chat? He loves socialism. That demon used to be over by another particular platform. He loves socialism. Why he left the chat? I know he's in the clouds watching. Bring your behind back in here. Socialism will cripple New York City in 2 months. Let's go.
He ran a campaign based on a bunch of promises that he cannot deliver on.
Right.
He doesn't have the legal authority to do half the things that he said he's going to do. It shows that he either misrepresented what he can do to the constituents of this city, or he doesn't have a fundamental understanding of what the role of mayor is. You cannot raise taxes if you are the mayor of New York City. He sits in the state assembly. He should know that. And the governor has already signaled that she is not going to approve this tax hike that he is proposing. He doesn't have the authority to do that.
Or even a fundamental understanding of how life works. I want to play this because I think it captures. This is not a casual socialist like some 18-year-old talking about stuff. He's actually thought about this stuff, and he's a true socialist. And let's play this clip real quick, and then I want to get your reaction.
You're a proud democratic socialist. Do you think that is a platform that would work for other candidates running in other parts of the country?
Absolutely. I think ultimately this is a campaign about inequality. And
you wonder why a lot of people leaving. You wonder why a lot of people with common sense is leaving. Looking to relocate their family so they don't have to deal with this monstrous behavior that's going on in New York City. You wonder why people that are successful closing their business down. There's a lot of stores closing in New York City. There's a lot of food banks. This goes on, closing down. People are barely having money to get on the train, let alone the subway system, the transportation, your insurance going up, everything going up. $100 is like $20 in New York City. If you try to spend $100 to get some things in New York City, you might get 3, 4, 5 purchases. Did you hear what I say? If you try to buy something good in New York City, you might get 3, 4, 5 purchases of food, and it's already $100. So imagine having a family. I'm not even speaking for yourself. If you gotta feed your lady, feed your kids, how far you think $100 of grocery will get? A day. A day, if that. Let's continue.
you don't have to live in the most expensive city in the country to have experienced that inequality because it's a national issue. And part of how we got to this point was through the endorsements of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Bernie Sanders, who've been leading this fight against oligarchy across the country.
And you can hear him talking about wanting to rework the way distribution of wealth is done, as if that happens through the government and the government is going to create a grocery store. And it's kind of bonkers.
Listen, he addressed the cost of living crisis.
Right.
We are facing a cost of living crisis. But the way forward for Americans and the way forward for my party is to find concrete solutions, to find ways to lower the cost of living for everyday Americans, and not promise to be Santa Claus and give everything for free when you can't actually do that, because nothing is free. Everything has a price tag attached.
That's one thing she said correctly. Everything has a price tag. I agree with that. That's one thing she said correctly. She's going at him, which is good. However, a lot of people still leaving regardless. Let's go.
So what I'm focused on is finding a way forward. And I think the vision for my party is reclaiming our voice in the middle, working across the aisle to find concrete solutions to lower costs and make Americans' lives safer and better.
Well, I'm so grateful for you coming on today, and I'm glad you're fighting this fight, and I hope you find other Democrats who join the sanity caucus within the Democrat Party because we cannot have an insane party.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Great to see you.
All right, let's get right to it. Let me get to another one. Give me 1 second, y'all. I want you to listen to this. We got one more. All right, let's listen to what they have to say. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, y'all. Listen to this. All I'm showing you is recently, y'all. It's been recent. Let's go.
Escape from New York, the tax base has been fleeing the Empire State. And that was before a socialist was the front runner to be mayor of its biggest city. The top 1% pays more than 40% of all income taxes in New York. That means social services, benefits, healthcare. Escape from New York, the tax base has been fleeing the Empire State. And that was before a socialist was the front runner to be mayor of its biggest city. The top 1% pays more than 40% of all income taxes in New York. That means.
Do you understand how high that is? 40%. They paying 40% and they're not getting the results in that city of New York. They paying 40% to keep the city going. And you have people that hates rich folks. You have people in the chat that hate rich folks. You got a lot of these poverty, poor, excuse mindset. These demons coming in the chat. They don't like rich people. Rich people have rich problems. You have no clue what type of problems they have. They don't display it as much as you poor mindseted, no talent folks do in my chat. And they being charged 40%. And the average citizen is being charged 25% of taxes paying and nothing getting done in that city. Could you imagine living in Manhattan? You're doing pretty good. You got to pay for whatchamacallit. You have to pay monthly fee to valet park your car. You have to pay monthly fee to valet park your car. And most of those garages is not in good condition. Then you have to take transportation to work. That's an additional. Then you got to provide for your family. So by the time the year's over with, you kind of have a little bit of something for yourself, yet you could do more in a state that have no state taxes. That's a true statement. People hate the rich until they become the rich. That's a fact. That's a poignant comment. Agree. Let's continue.
Social services, benefits, healthcare, education. Well, those people are packing their bags and they're moving south. The numbers just don't lie. Over 125,000.
What does it say? Just don't bring your agenda down here to Florida. We don't need your agenda down here in Florida. This is a super red state. We don't want no of those ideas in Florida. The Escape from New York, like the movie, The Escape from New York, Escape from the Criminals. 125,000 residents. Worth of income, $14 billion. Yeah, the meters. Yeah. Exactly. Let's rewind it back. Listen.
Well, those people are packing their bags and they're moving south. The numbers just don't lie. Over 125,000 New Yorkers moved to Florida alone, and with them went a combined $14 billion in income. That's a big ouch right there, Gary. Do you think that the flow of people down south to southern states like beautiful Florida, is that going to stop when Mamdani's elected?
Let me just state, if able, business people and capital will flock to where it's treated best. And all I can tell you, in my city in Florida, you have stores, restaurants, schools, hospitals, you name it, going up because people keep coming in, and they are coming from New York and other states, other blue states that continue to disrespect the taxpayer with high taxes and ridiculous regulations, fees, fines, mandates, you name it. And it is stunning to me, after we have these statistics already, that the voters in New York would vote. This man's, I wish he was a socialist. He makes a socialist look like a Republican. That's how bad he is. And
Salute to Brainwaves in the chat, y'all. Salute. Make sure y'all check out his channel. He's in the building. Brainwaves is correct. That's what they did to Georgia. They escaped from the north and tore up my state of Georgia. Don't do this to Florida, too. They're not going to be able to. They've been trying, Brainwaves. They've been trying. If you know Brainwaves, they clean up Miami for the most part. They made sure that the spring break was strict. Then they went to Fort Lauderdale and Daytona, Copacabana. Yeah, Copacabana Beach, Cocoa Beach, and those residents have made it clear to their county, do not bring these savages to the beaches for the spring break. We don't need their money. We don't need their services. Do you understand, y'all, that the South don't really need the northern state services, particularly these savages? We're not talking about all you well-to-do northerners. We're talking about these savages that was in South Beach back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Tearing up Miami, tearing up the beautiful beaches, leaving garbage, leaving all types of things, doing all types of madness. And the Miami residents in the congressional of Miami put their resources and say, we will pull our resources if you don't get this, clean up these savages. We like our beaches to be beautiful, clean, and we are going to make it hard for people to come into South Beach. And that's exactly what they did. Now, North Atlanta is good. The issue with Brainwaves will agree with is the airport area, the surrounding area of the airport in South Georgia is crime-ridden. When you go to that airport, you get out, you see a lot of people living in the airport and out the airport. You got to be careful parking your car at Atlanta Airport. You leave your car, you might come back, your car get crashed in, people taking stuff, personal stuff, trying to find out where you live at, trying to rob your house. So you got to move silently when you in Georgia, or you leave. So you can't leave certain things around. It's very demonic. When I got out that airport to go meet up with Brother Brainwaves, my spirit was not, it was like this. It was like shaking because I already know it was so demonic. It's a lot of warlocks and witches live in Cobb County and, live in the South Atlanta, Georgia area. That's where they do the spells. They try to do that in Miami. Them Cubanos, they say no. They got together with a few other Latin communities and they said, look, we pushing these ninjas out. They were so disrespectful. All right? They don't play that in Miami. So Florida, they don't play that. We don't need these people's money down here. We're making so much money down here. The people that's making money down here have a way of letting the governor, we have the best governor in the world. We have the best governor in the world. We have the best governor in the world. And he's for the people, by the people. Just like anywhere there's issues here and there, yet we got the best sheriff, Grady. We have the best. Do you understand? We have the best sheriff, Grady, the best governor, DeSantis. And while it has its ups and downs, just like anywhere in America, it is one of the most beautiful places to live at. Because almost all year round, it's warm. It can't get any better than that. Let's continue to hear what the Exodus situation going on.
And unfortunately, he's not even hiding it. When he says the means of production, that is right out of the Marx booklet, and it is going to be bad news if he follows suit. And I am heartbroken for this city because I can promise you the tax base is going to be running out of here.
Yeah, can I just
of course.
Cascades on itself. This started during COVID. Bad policies drove people out. And I always say the people who came back after COVID are not the same demographic. They're your Mandami voters. I was just walking around yesterday and thinking that all the things I loved about the city had changed so much. Not just, we talk about the crime issues every day, we talk about the taxes. But for me personally, I used to love staying in the city on a weekend to go have great brunches at crowded spots where you would run into friends or walking through the park. None of my friends are here anymore. Nobody's here. I walk around.
We're friends.
Did you hear that? She said none of her actual friends are in New York City. They laughing, yet the truth of the matter is she's serious. And it's hard to date there in New York City. I'm not going to speak about the dating in New York City because I don't live in New York City no more. I know dating in New York City is atrocious for the women up there. They begging just about any dude to be with them in New York City, from what I'm hearing. So when they come down to Florida, they try to get a Floridian man or a Georgia man or a Texan man because the men in New York ain't checking for them and the women ain't checking for nobody. There's nobody checking for nobody in New York City unless you want to get into those demonic activities. Outside of that, ain't too much going on over there. You got to understand, guys, a lot of women are very frustrated. They haven't had a man touch them in a long time, y'all, because of the agenda of the demonic spell casting energy going on over there. It wasn't like that back in the days. A lot of men from different parts of the states will always say, man, them dudes in New York were lucky to get them fine New York women. We had the finest women at the time in America, and California was second. Everybody else followed suit. Now, it transitioned to Florida for a minute, Georgia for a minute. The thing with Georgia is they demonetized the women there to the point they became witches. It wasn't like that in the 90s and early 2000s. Brainwaves would tell you. The peach Georgian women back in the days was so fine, clean, had a high good spirit. Now they've been tamed by these northern demonic men. Not all men in New York and the DMV is demonic. The thing is, a lot of them have brought their demonic ways down there to Georgia and messed up the women in Georgia, messed up the women in Houston, messed up the women in Dallas and parts of Florida. And now some of them got jacked up. There's a lot of these dudes in the northern states are on demon time. It's not to say that men in the South is not on demon time. Some are. However, you're going to see more demons of men and women from the North because they've been dealing with each other than it is in the South for the most part. All right, let's continue.
You're here, thank God. But nobody else is. And so when I walk around neighborhoods that I used to love to just, shop and stop for this or stop for that, it feels so different that all of this that I'm paying for, I'm not really getting the same enjoyment out of it. And now
Did you hear that part? Did you hear that part? That's key. Let's rewind it back. Listen to what she said. I don't think I heard it. Listen.
That it feels so different that all of this that I'm paying for, I'm not really getting the same enjoyment out of it. And now I fly away, with my feet or literally fly on.
Let's rewind that back. Listen.
And stop for this or stop for that. It feels so different that all of this that I'm paying for, I'm not really getting the same enjoyment out of it. And now I fly away, with my feet or literally fly on the weekends because I don't want to be here.
Which raises.
Did you hear that? Put a 5 in the chat. Did you hear what she just said? On the weekends, I don't want to be there. It's only because I have to work for Fox News. It's only why I'm here. If I could get a transfer to another state, particularly in the South, I will pack up my bags and leave. It's only because she loves what she do for work and it pays a decent amount for her arrangement. She tolerates it. That doesn't mean she wants to be there. Listen again what she says. It's a lot of people like her or getting to that point of being like her and want to get the heck out of there for good.
Getting the same enjoyment out of it. And now I fly away, with my feet or literally fly on the weekends because I don't want to be here.
Which raises the.
She flies on the weekend. She don't want to be there. Now watch what the other woman say.
Question again, why did Kathy Hochul, governor of New York, endorse Mamdani? She has said she doesn't agree with him on his tax policies, that he wants to hike taxes on New Yorkers, but she must see the same data that we just talked about too and knows that her tax base is leaving the city as taxes are going up. And he wants to just hike them even further, impose a 2% income tax on Big Apple residents making more than $1 million a year. He wants to raise the corporate tax too to match something like New Jersey, which that's a whole separate topic.
Didn't I just say that? Hey, where my support at? Listen. May the Lord strike me. I just said that. I did not watch this video. May the Lord strike me. She just said that New York is on its way to be up to where New Jersey at in taxes. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard me say that before you heard what she said. Put a 1 in the chat. May the Lord strike me right now on this live stream. I didn't watch this part. I told y'all that they're going to go to where New Jersey's at. Yet that demon left because he was sent. If New York get closer to New Jersey, it will be done in 2 months. That thing will cripple to no point of return. It's already at no point of return. Yet people say I don't know about my economics. You have these warlocks and witches say Rollo don't know about his economics. I know about my economics. I got 100 in high school in economics. I see things differently than the average person see. I maneuver different than the average person because I see things from an all-around standpoint, not no black ninja, black racist standpoint. Now the woman is telling you what could transpire in the state of New York and New York City. I have family in congressional office. I don't need to lie to y'all. For what? I talk to them when I can talk to them. I be letting them know what be going on before they know what's going on. If I wanted to be in the House of Representatives, I could make one call and get in there right now. I just don't want to get into that type of field. Yes, my family tree, for the most part, is part of that political realm. That's why that demon came in here, because he don't have no ties to no political realm. That demon wish he had political realm ties. He don't have no political tie realms. People jealous of what type of family I come from. I don't ask them for anything. I just do my thing, representing the Most High in Christ to the best of my ability. Let's rewind it back. Listen to what she said.
Even further, impose a 2% income tax on new Big Apple residents making more than $1 million a year. He wants to raise the corporate tax too to match something like New Jersey, which that's a whole separate topic. We know that's not good. Yeah. Why, Brianna, would she endorse him if she says she doesn't like his tax policies, and we can assume she knows what that's doing to the state?
Because Kathy Hochul is the worst governor in America, and I don't say that lightly. That being said, it gives...
got competition for
Gavin
that.
Newsom is definitely neck and neck on this one, but Kathy Hochul...
Yo, y'all got to give me my credit now. Y'all got to give me my credit. Y'all got to give me my credit. They're going in on Newsom. I told y'all they was going to go in on Newsom. Newsom and Kathy Hochul is the worst governors. Oh, wow. Newsom is one up on Kathy Hochul. Y'all got to listen to this again. Y'all got to give me the credit. Wow.
The worst governor in America, and I don't say that lightly.
That's doing to the state.
Because Kathy Hochul is the worst governor in America, and I don't say that lightly. That being said, it gives...
got competition for
Gavin
that.
Newsom is definitely neck and neck on this one, but Kathy Hochul legitimately hates everything America stands for, and it does give Elise Stefanik a little bit of...
Ooh-wee. Man, this young lady going in. Man, she cooking. Let's rewind back.
Gavin Newsom is definitely neck and neck on this one, but Kathy Hochul legitimately hates everything America stands for. And it does give Elise Stefanik a little bit of a boost, obviously, going into this gubernatorial race. Back to the wealth flight. Mamdani is following a very similar playbook to what happened to New York in the 1960s and the 1970s, right? You go back to Mayor John Lindsay. He expanded welfare programs. He hiked the tax rate up. And wealthy New Yorkers saw tax rates, they saw fiscal irresponsibility, and they did see crime, and they left. And by 1975, New York City was bankrupt. It took a...
Did you hear that part? In 1975, New York City was bankrupt. Listen again. Listen. Class in session. Class in session.
They saw fiscal irresponsibility, and they did see crime, and they left. And by 1975, New York City was bankrupt. It took a long time to get New York City back to where it is, at least right now. So the fact...
Did you hear what she just said? It took New York City a long time to get back to where it is right as of now. And guess who made New York City the best time to be in New York City? Mayor Giuliani. Mayor Giuliani brought the biggest capital in New York City in his reign, and Governor Pataki, both of them. They brought money into the city, and then the other ones destroyed it to no point of return. Listen to what she said again. Listen.
They saw fiscal irresponsibility, and they did see crime, and they left. And by 1975, New York City was bankrupt. It took a long time to get New York City back to where it is, at least right now. So the fact that Mamdani now wants to almost not only double down on those policies, but actually expand on the things that cause the problems should be a warning sign to anyone in New York with money or sensibilities to get out now.
And there's more to it than the economy. If you just watch what he...
She said, get on out. If you have stability and money, get on out. She even telling you, get on out. Listen again.
One in New York with money or sensibilities to get out now.
And there's more to it than the economy. If you just watch what he says on criminals and jails, it is. When I travel the subways now, there's a lot of police officers there, and you know what's happened now? There's less crime because of that. And now he wants to go the opposite route. And the number one job of any leader of any community, state, or country is to protect the citizenry. How do you protect the citizenry? You make sure you have enough people out there that protects them, number one. And if you do the crime, you are going to do the time. And he is the opposite of both that. And it's stunning that anybody who has families here would vote for this type of crazy.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. And yes, Mitch, he was the best mayor. Definitely was. Of all time. You are absolutely correct, sir. If they go that route, it'll be over for that city in 2 months.
Brian, we are hearing some reports that maybe AOC has plans or is working and developing on plans to run for president herself 2028. So I wonder if you have someone like Mamdani win the mayoral election, would that be a win that would help her advance that cause, maybe get closer to the White House, or would it actually be a gift for the Republicans because everyone would have to reckon with how bad Mamdani's policies are? Would it be a setback for her, actually?
I think, you could disagree with me on this, but I think if Mamdani wins the mayoral race, she views that as a bigger glide path in the Democratic Party, because what it says to her is that wing of the party is unchallenged. Kathy Hochul not standing up shows how weak she is. And she may be the worst governor in America, but she's more centrist, a little bit more centrist than Mamdani. She gave up. She endorsed him. So I think, and by the way, AOC thinks about being president every morning of every day of her life. Like this, it's not like she's just started considering this, okay? But I think she does see an opening. The party has zero leadership. This is a great time to be AOC. That party has zero leadership. There's nobody who can step into the middle. She knows it. She's out there making her case every day, almost unopposed. It's her in that party is like Mamdani running in New York City. There's no good competition.
We've heard that a lot in the past, and it wasn't true, but that is about as true as can be right now. There is no centrist when it comes to the Democrat Party right now. Fetterman is the centrist. I mean, that's the amazing part about it. And by the way, I don't even think they talk to Fetterman anymore. And he's the one that's the most logical at this point in time. It's just amazing to watch.
I don't think an extremist can win in a national race. I think the reason Mamdani has a platform here is, again, because the demographics of New York have gone increasingly more progressively left. I think the American people overall as a swath have actually rejected everything that he stands for and everything that she stands for. So that's the good news there.
Well, I wonder why we don't hear more from the business community kind of speaking up to raise concerns about Mamdani. At least I feel like I have not heard a whole lot.
I have, but it's too little too late. Nobody was thinking about it in advance. Nobody on the Republican side was saying we need a good candidate, because they're like whack-a-mole. They pop up, these socialists, like you never know when they're going to do it.
And they can't be too loud, the business community, because they have an idea that he's going to win.
And then they have to work with them.
Right.
That's a good point.
If they work with that person, they ain't going to have nothing left for their future generation. They're not going to have nothing left for their future generation. All right, so let's get into the dating market in Orlando. So I talked with some ladies, talked with some guys, and we was having a conversation, and they asked my input. What do you think about the dating market in 2025? Some ladies was like, they go to this single thing, no men there. And I was telling them, I said, hey, look, you got to go to a sporting event. You may have to go to things that are more of the beach. You may have to go to a beach event, because these ladies are very successful. So it's like it's very difficult for them to find a man that's on point. And I say, hey, they out there. It's just that they're not going out. You're not going out. The same thing with the guys. The guys are very successful. They don't really go out too much. I said to both of them, I said, hey, look, if you're not going to do the online thing, because they say they're not going to do the online thing because it's fickle, I hit them on that. I say, if you want to meet somebody face to face, you can meet them in the grocery store. You can meet them at the beach. There's a lot of events going on. Just going to a single mingle event, it's a waste of time for the men and for the women. It's a waste of time. Nobody's going to really have too much to say. You're both going to be looking at your phones because, believe it or not, a lot of people look at their phones here in Orlando. It's very, very high-tech type of city. So even I myself, I look on my phone to do certain things. Other people be looking on their phone to do certain things. We get the work done. The truth of the matter is I was explaining to both of them. I said, hey, look, there's so many events, even if the people's coming from other states. Why don't you and your friends get together, look nice and go to these events and, make some business decisions with these people. You might meet your partner there. I said, sitting in the house, nobody's coming knocking on your door. That goes for the women. That goes for the men. And I asked them this question, what do you think about your neighbor? What if your neighbor's single? You ever had I said, well, you're supposed to be knowing at least some people. You don't have to be in their business. If you see a neighbor that you're interested in, find out. Or he could tell you is he's married, or he may not be married. He may be seeing somebody. He may not be seeing somebody. So I've been giving them some ideas. So we got like an Instagram thing going on. So, hey, y'all never know. I might do the hitch thing in real time. You know what I'm saying? Putting people together. Time will tell if that's the Lord's calling. Because right now, we're talking about different things. So to me, the dating market in Orlando, look, I'm in a relationship. So I'm off the market. Now, I will say, observing wise, it's still opportunities. There's some, if you're in the Orlando area, there's some nice, decent women. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for somebody or for business, there's a lot of women's go-getters out here. In their 20s, 30s, and 40s. They get into the bag. Like, seriously. Like, I have come across them. I'm in that field where I see them. Like, I could be delivering, stuff to them. And, I have clients I do certain things for. They pay me this, pay me that. That's why I got to get my truck, because I can make more money getting my truck. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to tell you is that there's some who they like very decent women. Now, they say they don't want to get with nobody online. However, I have a couple of guys in mind that I'm going to talk with behind the scenes, see if they have interest of wanting to deal with some Floridian women. Maybe they don't want to deal with women in a state. Now, some guys don't want to do long distance. I don't know if these women's going to want to do long distance. I don't know. However, I'm going to have that going on real soon. I'm going to see what the fellas say. I'm not telling y'all who's single, who's not single. None of your business. The point is that the dating market it depends on who you talk to. I know I see a lot of couples in Orlando. Maybe not as much as Daytona, Jacksonville, or Northeast Florida. However, I see a lot of young couples, 20s, 30s, 40s. They together, living together, having potential babies in the future. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of young people get into it. You see a few 40s and 50s here and there in a relationship. However, a lot of young people in Orlando, it's not everybody getting into pumping and breaking, even though that goes on anywhere in America. Yet there's some people that's getting married, having children. Yeah. There's a lot of wedding events, because I know Zach's be doing a lot of wedding events because he's a photographer. So there's a lot of people getting married or potentially getting married, before the year's over with and stuff like that. So the dating market is decent in Orlando. You just got to be cognizant, just like anywhere in the States, and make sure that the person is on point to the best of your knowledge, to the best of your ability for both partners. And so that's my take on it, y'all. I'm not going to go into dietech on that. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the show. There's some other content I will be talking about. There's a few more things of the Charlie Kirk situation we're going to get into. And Candace Owens, saying what she's saying. We'll try to see what's going on with that. I appreciate those who subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all for liking the video. Salute to Brainwaves, Forever Studio, Daryl. If anybody support the Cash App or Venmo, I appreciate it. With that said, y'all, I got things I got to do. I got things I got to take care of. I got moves to make. So with that said, I'll holler at you on the next one. If y'all got any content, I seen Italian Mamba in the building. What's up, Italian Mamba? Brenda, member in the house. So if y'all got any content that I need to look into in your particular state or what's going on, let me know. Send me a link. Make sure it's the source. Appreciate y'all. Salute to all the mods, the members, and those who subscribe to the channel. This is Floridian Rollo signing off. I'll catch you on the next one. Brown royalty to the people. We the business. I'm going to play this jam on the way out, y'all. I'm going to play this jam on the way out. Thank y'all for tuning in to the show. Play this jam for y'all once again. Peace.